Hello everybody, welcome to the video on beginning syncopation. Syncopation is just a fancy word that means rhythms that emphasize offbeats. So if you see a lot of these and symbols, if you're using that system, or a lot of Ds, if you're using the Takadimi system, if you're seeing a lot of that and you're counting, then you're kind of dealing with some more syncopated rhythms, more offbeats and less downbeats involved. So yeah, and one of the main more common ideas, syncopated rhythms, is this idea right here. When you have a single eighth note, followed by a quarter note, followed by another single eighth note. Okay, and that's the main concept for today. We're going to try and unravel that a little bit. I actually want you to look at the first measure here, and it's nothing, too complicated, not syncopated. You got, if you're using this system, you got 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Or in Takadimi, it's ta, di, ta, di, ta, ta. So that's all well and good, but it's not syncopated. However, if we maybe put a tie right there, and how would that change the rhythm? So now that that's there, this eighth note right here is now absorbed by this eighth note. These two notes are kind of now together. You want to consider them one note. So with that in mind, we also have to put a little dash right here and right here. So what is that going to sound like now? If I use the number system, that's going to go 1 and sh and 3, 4. Or Takadimi, ta, di, sh, di, ta, ta. So I'm saying sh where this used to be, right? That's the start of beat 2. It's not there anymore though. If I said it without the sh, that's going to sound like 1 and 3, 4. Ta, di, di, ta, ta. So everything stays the same. You're just not saying this ta or this 2 anymore because it's now tied to that first eighth note. So the funny thing is this next measure sounds exactly the same. It's just written a little differently. So if you remember, 2 eighth notes, like say these ones that we connected, equals a quarter note. Like it's the same time that a quarter note gets. So you could, instead of writing it this way, just use a quarter note starting in that offbeat. So here's that first offbeat that we had. Same offbeat, but now we're just using a quarter note instead of 2 tied eighth notes. It sounds exactly the same. In fact, a lot of people choose to write this rhythm this way. So which is why it's good to kind of get used to it. So, but yeah, sounds exactly the same. 1 and 3, 4. Ta, di, di, ta, ta. And I put this little 2 here just to show you that the downbeat of 2 is now a part of this quarter note. All right, you kind of gloss over it. So yeah, we do that again. Ta, di, di, ta, ta. Now this next measure, it uses that same eighth note, quarter note, eighth note little rhythmic idea we're talking about. But this time, it starts on the second beat, or on the second ta of the measure. Other than that, it sounds the same. So you start with one full quarter note here. Here's what this sounds like. 1, 2, and 4. Ta, ta, di, di, ta. Okay, so the general sound of this is you have 2 offbeats in a row, right? Here or here. Notice the 2 ands or the 2 Ds that you have in a row. That's the main idea of this syncopated rhythm that we're talking about. All right, so this last measure is this idea, but just 2 times in a row. So here's one here, and it starts over again here. This is going to sound like this. 1 and 3 and. Or ta, di, di, ta, di, di. Okay, so a lot of eighth notes going on here, a lot of offbeats going on here, lots of ands and lots of Ds. Okay, so that's a very syncopated measure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now start from the beginning and just play through or say through all 4 measures as if this was a rhythm sheet or just something that you would see in a piece of music. I'll do the number counting system first. Here I go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3 and. And here is the same thing with Takadimi. 1, 2, here I go. Ta, di, di, ta, ta. ta, D, ta, ta, D, ta, D, ta, D. All right, there you go. Hopefully this video helps at least a little bit in terms of understanding what this sounds like now. You'll see it quite a bit in music. But yeah, hope that helps, and good luck with this rhythm level.